That you and I have had a chat about this horse over the years now. I'd lose count because I love coming and talking to you about him. You know him well. Of course, it's Wolf. How has he come through his first up run?
Yeah, very well. Yeah, very, very well, because you think on a real wet track that he'd be a bit quiet for a few days, but the Sunday he was dragging me around, and on Monday he was dragging his track hook right around the track. He was really well. So it takes a lot to hurt this horse. He's a real resilient horse, real tough horse, and I think it'll only bring him on.
You mentioned that at this prep he's better when he gets to the races, calmer.
Yep, and he did play around the gates first up, but that's been something he's done the last two preps. So, but everything else, he seems a lot more calmer this prep. He's taken more in his stride, and I think it can only make him a better racehorse.
And how have you seen him progress through the preparations? I know that you and your dad have always had a really nice opinion of him from the get-go. You've always been really confident in his abilities. Do you feel like this is really his prep to shine?
Yeah, the next 12, 18 months, I think he'll be around for a long time with his toughness. He'll really show what he's about, and we're really confident he's top line.
Can't wait to see him today.
Thank you.
Well, we shouldn't play favourites, but how can you not love a face like this? He is Lindemann, and he lines up in the Chelmsford. I want to take you back to last preparation when he went around in the very elegant. He finished third behind Fangirl and Via Sistina. He ran the race of his life. He's second up today. You have to forget his first up run in the Winx Stakes. He hates a wet track. Back on the dry track today, he's going around at $11. He loves the microphone. I think I've been down here and done many pieces on him before, but he looked $1 million first up, and he looks even better here second up today. So this is Lindemann lining up in the Chelmsford very shortly.
This is race number 7, the Chelmsford Stakes for Asahi Super Dry, and Wolf, the most heavily backed runner of the day going into this race meeting, and currently $1.80 for Wolf. This mounting out is brought to you by Harvey Norman for all you need in furniture, bedding, electrical and technology. Let's have a look at Arapaho, number 1, the Sydney Cup winner, Rachel King and Bjorn Baker.
Well, that was an outstanding effort first up to do what he did. We can't sell him short, but he just might want a touch further now. This track's dried out a little bit, but never underestimate him. He's a ripping horse.
He is, isn't he? He's just a gallant old boy. He's walking out beautifully, actually. He's come on a bit. He's not quite at the top of his game. He's got a long preparation ahead, but there has been a little bit of improvement.
Here's Wolf, the favourite, number 2, Chad Schofield and Joe Pride.
Yeah, obviously had excuses there with a bit of a slow getaway on the heavy track and having to swoop around the field. He could easily bounce back here. His effort was amazing, and he's really glowing. He's really come back a more furnished horse there, Shani.
He has, and he's a lot more settled as well. Once upon a time he used to be up on the toe and do a few things wrong, but nice and settled today. His coat's improved immensely. He had that real winter look about him. First up, a lot better here second up. One more run just to top him off, but he's here to run well.
Vauban, number 3, Adam Hieronymus for Gay and Adrian.
Well, he's won 2 trials. He's off the 147 days since the Queen Elizabeth. He hasn't won under 2,000 metres, but he hasn't been tried at it either. Look, he's looked good, showed good dash in those trials, so he has to be in the mix somewhere.
I had to look to check it was him, because whenever we've seen this horse, he's been a hot mess. He's actually really good today, which is a really positive sign. He'll probably get a little bit warm by the time he arrives at the gates, but for now, it's a really positive yard report. Fitness, he's got, again, another one with a long preparation ahead, but he's not too bad here, first up.
A good report for Vauban. Here's Lindemann, Chris Waller and Nash Rawiller.
Yeah, he's glowing. Just doesn't handle the heavy tracks, so back to dry here. He usually lives second up. The map looks kind to him, and he will improve. Yep,
beautiful again. I can't talk highly enough of him. He's strips fitter here second up. He'll appreciate getting back on the dry track. He's got the coolest attitude. I reckon he'd have to be one of the coolest horses in Sydney racing.
Let's have a look at Sir Delius, Sydney's first look at him, number 5, Tim Clark for Waterhouse and Bott.
Yeah, I saw him in Queensland. There's nothing special to look at there. He's done well. He's got residual fitness. He's trialling up well. Huge boom on him. He looks a real Cups prospect, as the market suggests, and he's here to run well.
I didn't know what to expect. I expected a real lightly framed staying type, but he's actually big and scopy, to be fair. Again, his appearance here is a lot better than I expected. He's got a really nice coat on him. They've poured as much work as they can to get him ready for this first up assignment, knowing that, again, another one with a long preparation ahead.
Whettor, number 6, Kerrin McAvoy and Peter Snowden.
He's had 2 trials off a long break, and he probably needs racing to just to get that match practice back into him.
Beautiful order. He will definitely take a lot from the outing here, and he'll probably need a few runs, but I must say they've brought him back as well as they can.
Land Legion, number 7, McDonald and Waller.
Enormous return to racing the other day. 61 kilos, a steadily run race, charged home. So if he reproduces that, you can't say no. But it's just, again, back to the dry now, and probably with that dashing edge off him, you'd like to see him, working home really nicely, and he's right on target.
He still has a bit of a spring in his step, and he still looks quite sharp. I thought he would have been really docile and really laid back, but there's a bit of purpose about him.
Here's Adelaide River, Dylan Gibbons and Chris Lees.
I thought he did enough first up. He had a tough run, and this race here should top him off for something you could probably nearly back him in next time. I don't know if they're thinking Newcastle Cup or something, but I've got my eyes on him for next time.
I think he'll be looking spot on at third up. He's definitely come on beautifully from that first up run. He had a lot of improving to come, and he's gradually getting there, so one more run away.
Here's another stayer, Athabaskan, number 9, Zach Lloyd for O'Shea and Charlton.
You wouldn't think he'd be wound up at this stage of his preparation, and although the blinkers show some intent to get him to run well.
Yeah, he looks quite sharp actually. I've always said he's one of the best looking stayers you'll find in Sydney. He's got this real cool suaveness about him in the yard. I know he'll need this, but to keep an eye on him as he progresses.
Here's Birdman, number 10, Tommy Berry, Chris Waller.
Yeah, he's teased us, and he teased us again there first up, but he's on target for the Cups this year, and you want him to hold that little bit of consistency running well again here.
There was absolutely nothing wrong with him first up. He presented like he was there to run well, and he certainly did. He wasn't beaten that far. He's taken that next step now. He strips fitter for that run. I think they've got the biggest horse in the stable with the smallest strapper, but he's a big boy. There's a lot of him, but in really good nick.
Robusto, number 11, Jason Collett, Bjorn Baker.
Bjorn's done a great job with him. I don't think he handled the heavy there in the Wink Stakes, and I'm not sure he's at his best when he leads, so he could run better.
The thing he has on his side is definitely the fittest horse in the race.
And full count Felicia, number 12, Tyler Schiller and Chris Waller.
She looks in good shape. I'm just waiting for her to find a little bit of form, and I think once she finds it, or if she finds it, she'll hold it.
I think she's definitely a big improver from that first up run.
Well, Corey Chawolf and Chad Schofield didn't go right for Chad first up in the Wink Stakes in Chawolf.
No, it didn't go right. He obviously was a fraction slow away, but going back through Chawolf's form, he's done it quite a few times. So it wasn't like the first time. So good to see Chad's back on the horse. I think it'll be ridden a lot different today. He drawn where he has. He'll obviously keep him focused up in the barrier. Once he cleans the lids, he'll probably try and park directly behind the 2 leaders, and he wouldn't want to be too far away from the speed, because the likes of Jason Collett and Nash out in front, they're great judges of speed, so he wants to latch hold of their backs, and yeah, he just needs to clean the gates clearly.
Yep, get out of the gates, be in a more forward position. You tipping Chawolf?
I'm tipping Chawolf. He's just got to step right and he'll win.
Okay, Shani, who's your pick of the yard?
It's Lindemann. I loved him first up. I love him even more so now. Second up into the campaign, he has come on beautifully. Chawolf, I must say, he's made a lot more improvement than I anticipated him to. He's one more run from being at the top with his coat, but he still looked a lot better.
A lot better, didn't he?
Here's Adrian Bott joining us with Vauban and also Sedelius. All that schooling you've done with Vauban's paid off.
Yeah, I think having that preparation last time no doubt helped. He was much better today. Still a bit on his toes, a little bit of nervous energy there. Most likely sort of freshness being first up, but yeah, very encouraging signs for the preparation.
Gee, he's trialled well for a long distance horse.
Yeah, he has, and that's been I guess one of the encouraging things about him. He looks a happy horse at present. He's showed some good freshness and speed in his early trials. So hopefully he can bring that today first up.
What can Sedelius do today?
Yeah, that would be interesting watch on him. It may still ultimately be a bit short of his best, but similarly to Vauban, he trialled the same day and looked particularly sharp as well. A bit of an awkward draw for him as to where he gets to in the run, I guess will be key in the likely tempo of there, but he's a horse that's got great potential, obviously lightly raced, and there's still more progression to come from him.
Both of them, you're obviously training them different to the way they were trained in Europe, so the idea to put that speed into their legs?
Yeah, hopefully we've had a couple of preparations now that allowed us to do that, but in saying that, we can train it out of them ourselves as well. So, they seem to do well once they get up to the right distance, and today's a little bit short of their best.
Good luck.
Thanks very much.
Okay, Ronnie, who do you like?
2, 5, 10 and 3. The punters have only got eyes for one horse here, and it's this favourite, Chelmsford, who we all saw first up. Hopefully with a clean getaway today, he can stalk the potential leaders here and show what he's got to offer. Joe's really happy with the way he's come up. I thought Serdelius had to fit in there somewhere. 2 trials are nice. There's a huge boom on him. Obviously there's improvement to come with him, and obviously when he steps up in distance as well. I'm going to throw in Birdman for the multiplayers, and also Vauban just because of the class angle there. 2, 5, 10 and 3. Tim?
Yeah, best backed runner at Randwick today, Kale Wolf, 2.30 first price Wednesday, was into even money this morning, now a $1.70 chance. A big firm. It's close to 70% of the total tab hold, and exaggerating that firm is a lack of money for a couple of his first up opposition, including Serdelius, who was a firmer earlier in the week, $4.60 into as short as $4, but that money's dried up today. He's been $4 all the way out to $5.50, and he's hard to lay late, Serdelius. So punters, all eyes on the favourite, a drifting second favourite here. Lindemann has been really solid all day today, $11 unchanged, and punters really expecting he'll run a much better race here today on the drier track. Arapahoe's been easy, $8 out to $12. Robusto, he's solid enough, 14 into 13 today after going up $11 on Wednesday. No money at all for Vauban, the other Waterhouse bot stayer, resuming here, $8 all the way out to $15, and then we're out to $21 Land Legend, $31 Birdman, and 60s or longer the rest. We've just pushed Kale Wolf just back out of touch, just back out to $1.75. That matches the NOP there, but plenty of money for it. I guess it's all going to come down to Chad getting the horse out of the gate and putting it up in a position for him to take advantage.
There's Arapahoe out behind the gates. What a marvellous stayer he is, Corey, and he ran out of his skin in the Wing Stakes, the stayer, to run third. And punters, Ronnie, are hoping that Wing Stakes is spot on today, that form coming out of it.
Yeah, they certainly are, and obviously that's logical. That is the form line there. So it'll be interesting to see what happens here. I don't know whether they're going to press on these Waterhouse bot horses and show some speed. I'm not sure how to read the tempo of this race. I don't think they really loved Robusto leading the other day. So I think maybe Lindemann is the horse that does go forward here and gets things run to suit. So yeah, interesting as far as tactically concerned, with a lot of runners here, and obviously all eyes on that horse at the start here. They'd love to have him in the box seat.
Nash will have a plan in mind with Lindemann now that he's back on top of the ground. They're going into the gates. Wolf, not the best out of the gates in the Wing Stakes, and then he had to go very wide around the home turn when Via Sistina cut through and dashed away to win that Wing Stakes. But a lot of the talk post-race was about Wolf and the performance. Here's Lindemann coming up. Serdelius about to come forward as well. One start in Australia for one win. Here's Wetter coming up, a two-time Doomben Cup winner. Final check on the market with Tim Ryan.
Yeah, we've just gone back to 180 about Kale Wolf. Just wrote a few bets for Serdelius at 6, so he's back into 550. 180 the favourite, Kale Wolf, and Lindemann really rock solid at 11, expecting a big run from him.
All in, here's Darren Flindell.
There's the light. Stand by. Joe Wolf, the favourite, drawn barrier 2. They want to be closer this time. Ready? Racing. Joe Wolf only jumped fairly there from gate 2. Lindemann and Robusto the first two out. Full count Felicia lobs in third. Vauban going forward on the outside of Arapahoe. They're followed further back then by Chaya Wolf improving. Serdelius out wide's got some work to do to get a more forward position. Just easing back a little bit, Birdman to about a midfield spot. They're followed by Adelaide River, then came Athabaskan, and a gap to Land Legend on the outside of Wet Horse. And Nash takes the lead on Lindemann, out by 2 lengths on Robusto, followed by Full Count Felicia. Sir Delius doing some work up on the outside. Vauban took a sit behind them. Then Arapaho plonked down on the rails on the inside of the short favourite Chaya Wolf. So Chaya Wolf's about 5 lengths off the lead at the 800 metres. They're followed then by Adelaide River in the running line. On the outside of Birdman, a couple off to Land Legend from Athabaskan, and 2.5 lengths back to Wettor at the rear. 600 to go. Lindemann rolling. Lindemann a length in front of Robusto. Then Full Count Felicia. Sir Delius gets to an outright 4th. Now Vauban being scrubbed up from Arapaho, and Chaya Wolf is peeling 3 and 4 wide, 6 off the lead. Up the running down. Lindemann shows the way by 2 lengths on Robusto, is flat out. Then Sir Delius. Boy, Chaya Wolf's got some chasing to do. He's still 6 off them. Lindemann's giving a terrific sight in the lead. Inside the 200, Lindemann 2 in front of Sir Delius is giving good chase now. Lindemann and Sir Delius. Lindemann trying to cling on just. Lindemann a half head on the line to Sir Delius, getting closest at the end. Vauban hitting top gear late into 3rd. Chaya Wolf, well, he couldn't pick up the ground today. Then Bourbon flashing home, and Arapaho as well. Further back to Adelaide River, Land Legend, Robusto, Full Count Felicia, Athabaskan finishing well back at the end, and Wettor was one of the last in.
Nash did as he liked on Lindemann out in front. It looks as though he's just hung on from Sir Delius, who might just miss out, but he's some sort of horse, Sir Delius. Lindemann maybe back into the winner's stall today, back on top of the ground, and holds on, waiting for this photo or a replay to come up. We won't get a replay, we'll get the photo. Put us all out of our misery there. Lindemann, Sir Delius. Lindemann, Sir Delius. Vauban's run 3rd. So Lindemann back in the winners list. His last win was the Craven Plate, not quite a year ago. And the Waterhouse Bot runners filling the placings, a great return.
Yeah, well, typical Nash, wasn't it? He owned the race. He quickens at the right time. He gets their wheels spinning, and he just rides this horse so well, and he really loved it back on top of the ground here today. He's a good horse, that second horse. He is a live wire Cups prospect. He just keeps surging, that horse, and I'd be very confident moving forward with him being so lightly raced, and the record he's gathering now with a lot more to come. And the other two battled on well. Vauban was good. He just had to chase a long way out there, Chaya Wolf, so you'd have to mark him as disappointing on a price angle, but he's still well capable of bouncing back once he gets a bit more pressure in his races. But all honest, the winner, he took ownership of the race, but I think all eyes are for the second horse there moving forward.
Yeah, I couldn't agree more, Ronnie. Like I said in the pre-race interview, he's dangerous, Nash, when he can get up in front and control races like that. He's a great judge of speed, terrific rider, and I think the big plus here, like you said, Ronnie, was getting this horse back on top of the ground. He just appreciates a bit of a firm deck, and you've seen him at his best there today.
134.46, 134.46, and he sprinted home in 34.14. 34.14. 4, 5, 3 and 2.